But you know what? That's going to be, you feel the pain once, and the pain's over with. Because I can almost guarantee you that that situation will haunt you the whole season. Now you cut him with dignity, you tell him to go get some other programs because he's a great young man, maybe he'll learn to become a better player, but I don't know sometimes if you have the time for that. You know, freshmen, a little different. Again, I think freshmen, you need to let kids compete. Kids should be playing 3 sports. They should be involved. You got to understand their learning. You're teaching fundamentals. You want to keep everybody in a program. You know, try to get them, you know, and I'm sorry, freshmen, you're winning, get them in. You start losing, get the first team back in. But it doesn't matter. You're getting beat, get them in. Sometimes you know you're not going to come. I mean, you want to keep them in because how many times have you seen that 8th grade All-American? Johnny, 8th grade All-American. Well, my son, for me, and this is just me, freshman, ain't no freshman MVP. Okay? Ain't no JV MVP. Here's your shirt. Congratulations. We'll see who you are when you're a senior. Okay? Thank you for participating. Because I can't stand it when a parent, well, he was MVP of the freshman team. My gosh, he was the best 7th grade baller I've ever seen. What do we crave, man? Because I've seen 8th grade All-Americans who were, you know, 5'8", 185 with a full beard. When he was a senior, he was 5'8", 185 with a full beard. Now, I'm not saying those kids can't participate for you or good athletes, but sometimes they're coddled at an early age. They think they're all the world. And you got that little squirrely kid in the back of the room who doesn't play for you. But see, he has to work his tail off. He's not that good. He's in the weight room every day. She's working hard every day. She listens to what you say. She tries to do this. She tries everything. They do what you say. And by the time they're juniors, all of a sudden that kid's 6'5". Woo-hoo! What if you get rid of him as a freshman? So on the freshman level, you've got to keep in mind kids and opportunities for kids. That borderline kid, I still think you cut him, but do it in a way that keeps them involved in something. But be careful with your all-world kid at a young age, because you don't know what's going to happen. My first former player to play in a Super Bowl played JV as a junior. Put him on JV as a junior. And the next year he was an all-state linebacker for us, and he plays for the Carolina Panthers now. He's been in the league 15 years, got his pension and everything else. But as a junior, you know, I mean, you hear those stories all the time, so you don't know. You want to try to keep them involved. Because you don't know. Unless you really look at their dad, look at his feet and everything, but I think mom's more important. Okay, make sure. If mom's fairly, when she looks at it, then you're guaranteed in most cases. Anyway. Everyone involved in athletic competition has a duty to treat the traditions of their sport and other participants with respect. Coaches have that responsibility. There's that word model again. And the one thing I do see in this state is everybody's, I mean, really, I mean, the vast majority of everybody that coaches in this state do a really good job. They really do. And I think, you know, it's funny sometimes because we think that just because you played, you're going to be a good coach. You know, you played, you're going to be a good coach. The other horrific, well, they were a great player, they're going to be a great coach. Obviously, I wasn't very good, that's why I'm a high school coach. Because when you're not very good, you kind of got to know the game a little more to make up for that. Sometimes you get these great players and they didn't really study the game, and, you know, again, what's going to make a good coach? I don't know what the formula is. But I think these are things that you do need to talk about. You do need to be taught, like everything we do. Words are great, but you gotta get them to see it, to get a vivid mental picture of what you're trying to do, to model the behavior so they can see what they're doing. I honestly believe the best teachers are the best coaches and vice versa. Unfortunately, our profession as a coach in some ways, over the years, you get a bad rap sometimes. That's why, when you're in a classroom, you better make sure you're teaching. Because that's what butters the bread. You know, the $2,300 you're going to get for doing this for the next 6 months, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, that's not going to pay the rent. When you're in the classroom, be the great teacher that you are. You know, I see that more often than not. You know, well, he's a coach. You know, I'm sorry. Yeah, if they're a poor coach, they might be a poor teacher. But I'll tell you what, great coaches coach in the classroom. And what's it all about then? Demonstrating behavior. Show me, show me, show me. Because you're so used to making them see it on the field, breaking it down into parts. Okay, step, dip, strike, finish. You know, I mean, you've got all those. It's the same thing when you teach. If you're not actively involved in getting what you want, you don't really want it. I say this to kids all the time. If you're not actively involved in getting what you want, you don't.